Hello, I'm back, and I'm recording the third part of March 14, 2021 update. And I see we left up with some more VHS tapes. We got a lot to sell, and some I'm keeping. Okay. We have here like one of the two hard-to-find Universal horror movies of all times. 1931's original Frankenstein. This copy contains restored footage. Yep. The original Frankenstein came out in 1980 from MCA Video Cassette Inc. And this box packaging the 1986 reissue. Yeah. And I'll show you what the tape looks like. It's a 1987, the restored version of the original Frankenstein. It's in the MC home video background in pink. And it has a trailer for Wolfman meets Frankenstein and the original werewolf with Lon Chaney Jr. I might have to get the 86 reissue copy from 80. Now here's one of the best-known horror movies ever made with Frankenstein. Dracula with Bela Lugosi. Frankenstein has Boris Karloff. Yep. It's alive! Alive! James Wales is the one who directed those Universal horror films in the 1930s. Originally, Dracula came out on VHS back in 1980. This is the 1985 reissue from MCA Home Video, and it has the sticker label from MCA Video Cassette Inc. 1983, and it has the end label from 1985. I checked out this tape, it has no deftone at the end. Yeah. Next one I have here is an MGM musical of the 1987 VHS release of Kismet, when it had with Howard Keel, Ann Berth, and Sebastian Cabot and Monty Woolley, directed by Vincent Minnelli, produced by Arthur Freed. And I only have it was made in 1955, and I have the 1981 original release of Kismet from CBS MGM Home Video. The sticker label was from 83. Yeah. Probably this tape was printed in early 87. It was reissued with around that time with The Pirate, Showboat, and Broadway Melody of 1938 or 1940. I'm going to keep that for myself. Now the next one we got here is a Rodgers and Hammerstein movie of Oklahoma, of the Rodgers and Hammerstein collection, The Golden Anniversary. And this is the This is going to be a 1995 reissue, along with The Sound of Music. Yep. Check the tape, what it looks like. 1995 reissue. And this is the 29th week of 1994 or something, when this tape was made. Next one we got here, a horror movie, a hard to find. That is the Spiral Staircase. It was made in 1975 or 1976 for Warner Bros., starring with Christopher Plummer. Yeah. And this movie doesn't have any R, it doesn't have a rating system, doesn't have PG and R. And this film says it's not rated, but children is not supposed to be watching this. Since the 1980s, parents had to watch their children watching a horror movie. They can't do it alone. And this tape I checked, it had no deftone. I wonder if this tape came out back in the early 80s of the Warner Home Video clamshells. Yeah. That's for myself. Now I got a next one for selling on eBay. That stars with Denzel Washington. That stars with Denzel Washington in The Seagull. Co-stars with Bruce Willis. This is the 2001 reissue. This is the 1998 film. Originally came out back in 1998. And this is a 1999 label on it. It's a pretty good action movie. Now I got here for myself to keep. George Stevens, the one who directed the Shane and Giant, and also he directed like one of the Hal Roach shorts with the Boyfriend series. When Laurel and Hardy and the Little Rascals were there at that era. That is the greatest story ever told. When they starred with Max von Sydow from The Exorcist, J. Carroll Baker, Richard Conte, Jose Ferrer, Van Hufflin, Charlton Heston, Angela Lansbury, Rodney McDowell, Marianne Pearsoff, Donald Pleasant, Sidney Poitier, Claude Rains, Terry Savalas, John Wayne, and Shelley Withers and Ed Wynn. That's a perfect cast. It was made in 1965. That is like an all-star cast movie around that time when It's a Man World was made. 1986 release from CBS Fox Video. Yeah, and I'll show you what the label looks like. The labels might be kind of loose. Some is missing a label like tape 1. I'll show you what the other label looks like. Tape 2, Doesn't have any print date on it, Put these tapes away. Now here's a John Wayne movie. It's called The Chisum. The Chisum. That was made in 1970. Co-stars with Forrest Tucker, Ben Johnson, Patrick Norrett, and Bruce Cabot. Made 1970 for Warner Brothers, and this is the 1991 reissue. Originally, I used to have the 1987 reissue from the Warner Home Video Scream Legends series. What this tape looks like. This tape is going to be printed around 1993 as a reprint. Now we got here like a drama movie called A Room with a View from 1986. The best picture of 1986. A natural board of reviews. And this was on VHS in around early 1987 release from CBS Fox Video when it was co-starred with Dehan Elliott. Sorry about doesn't have any print dates. Doesn't have the original box or anything like that. The next one we got here is Brad Pitt in 7 years in Tibet. It was made in 1997. It was released on VHS 1998 from Columbia TriStar Home Video. Here's what this print is like. The tape looks like. Here comes the sticker. Here comes the print date. Printed on the 43rd week of 1998. Hold on. The next movie I have here on VHS for selling on eBay, that is The Cell. His Mind in Her Prison with Jennifer Lopez, And this is made in 2000. It was released on VHS in 2000 from New Line Cinema. Show you what the tape looks like. Ink label. This is printed it on April 3rd, 2001. Like a little reprint. The next cassette I have here, that is Charles Kerr Tiger Hidden Dragon, winner of a 4 Academy Awards 2000, has like Chu Yun Fat and Michelle Yule something. Yep, that's probably a Chinese people in there, and probably in this Chinese movie, just like Ran in 1985. That's the name of the movie, Ran. This is released on VHS in 2001 from Columbia TriStar Home Video. This made 2000. This was released 2001 from Columbia TriStar Home Entertainment. Print date is 35th week of 2001. Around that time when when the planes crashed into the Twin Towers on September 11th. It was bad. It's one of the best films of the 90s. One of the good films, like Rudy, the Rocky for the 1990s. Made 1993 by TriStar Pictures, and this is released on VHS 1994 from Columbia TriStar Home Video. Show you what the tape looks like. 1994 release, and its a print date is 39th week of 1995. Next one we got here is Russell Crowe in Breaking Up. That was made in 1997 from Warner Brothers, and this is on VHS 1998 from Warner Home Video. Ink label, I can't see the print date on it because this is a library tape. The next one we got here is Breaches, that stars with Bette Midler and Barbara Hershey, I mean. And this tape originally came out in 1989 or 1990. And this tape, it's not original, this is a reprint. They was printed it on June 9th, 2000. At the time, I was only 15 years old. Now here comes The Champ. The Champ is not a great movie compared to as the original Champ with Wallace Beery and Jackie Cooper. And The Champ stars with Vin Figueroa and Ricky Schroeder and Faye Dunaway. The Champ was made in 1979. This is the 1983 release of the 1979 The Champ remake. Yep. Show you what the tape looks like. So I get this in there. Someone must have covered the print date, but I checked out this tape. It has no Deftone in there. And here's the 1984 reissue of, I think it's 1985 reissue of The Turning Point. Have with Hank Bankroyd, that's Mel Brooks' wife, and Shirley Maclaine. Originally, this movie came out on VHS in 1982 from 20th Century Fox Video. This is the 1985 reissue from CBS Fox, and however I played the tape, doesn't have any 20th Century Fox Video tape master on there. Yep, and this might have Maclaine. The next tape I have here is a Disney movie that stars with Kurt Russell, Dexter Riley. But we got Miracles, that was based on a true story behind the greatest moment in sports history. Yeah. This has got to be from 2002 on VHS from Walt Disney Home Entertainment when VHS tapes were fading out at the time. This got to be from April 16, 2004. Now we got here a magnificent Auspian, something like that. It stars with Jane Ryman and Rock Hudson and Barbara Rush, and Otto Kruger was co-starring in it. This was made in 1954 from Universal International. This is the 1985 release from MCA Home Video. This tape was reprinted on November 23rd, 1986. And this one was printed on the 49th week of 1986. Now we got with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in Swing Time in 1936. This is the 1985 reissue from RKO Home Video. Originally came out in the early 80s of Nostalgia Merchants. I prefer the one from Nostalgia Merchants because it's under a license of Media Home Entertainment. The last time I showed you a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers VHS was Shall We Dance. This comes with a bonus short that has with maybe with Buster Keaton or something, or a cartoon short. This is from RKO Home Video before there was Turner Home Entertainment. This tape has got to be a reprint from the late 80s. Fixing this cassette right now. The next one we got here was Harrison Ford. I don't mean Indiana Jones or the Star Wars movies. We got Witness in 1985. One of the previous titles I showed you from this previous update co-stars with Carrie McGivens, the one from she did Top Gun with Tom Cruise. 1986 reissue from Paramount Home Video's Special Collector Series, when Paramount Pictures celebrated their 75th anniversary. Show you what the tape looks like. Printed it on October 21st, 1986. This tape was printed on the 43rd week of 1986. Originally, the Witness came out on VHS and Beta in late 1985. Now we got here another Star Wars movie I have. The 1984 release of The Empire Strikes Back. I already have it on VHS. Yep, may the Force be with you as always. And this tape is a reprint from 1987 of like the complete Star Wars trilogy. This copy might have like Macrovision on it. I already have this copy, but thank you. Now we got here like a World War II. I got here like one of the greatest war movies ever made. That stars with John Wayne, Robert Mitchum, Sean Connery, Red Buttons, and Kurt Jagger in The Longest Day, made from 20th Century Fox, 1962. And originally this movie came out in Magnetic Video Corporation in 1979. Then it was reissued 1985 from CBS Fox Video in 2 boxes in double length. Now we got here what the tape kind of looks like. 1986 reissue from CBS Fox Video. Yeah. I know this tape is kindly acceptable. It might have like Macrovision on it. The Longest Day is a great movie from 1962. Now we're going to put that over there. John Wayne's American Hero. Now we got here one of the best known musicals for 3 hours. My Fair Lady. Audrey Hepburn, Rex Harrison. This is like the remake from the 1938's comedy classic of Pygmalion with Leslie Howard and Wendy Hiller. 1986 release from CBS Fox Video in double tapes. And you know, My Fair Lady originally came out on VHS. It was 1981 from CBS NGM Home Video. Then it was reissued around 1984, which is I have. Part 1 of it and Part 2. And it doesn't have the 1982 FBI warning screen at the end of this copy. But in the 1984 reissue had that. My Fair Lady is just a great movie. And Audrey Hepburn's talented. Singing and dancing, but she's always talented. Even with her performance in Breakfast at Tiffany's and Roman Holidays. Now we got here a musical extravaganza with Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire in Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn. Made in 1942, and this is on VHS in 1986 release from MCA Home Video. Originally it came out on VHS and Beta was 1981 from MCA Videocassette Inc. What this tape looks like. This tape was printed on September 6, 1986. And this tape was printed on 37th week of 1986. Later, they did like White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. The next movie we got here is L.A. Controversial. Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, Kim Basinger, and Danny DeVito. And this is the 1998 VHS. It was made for Warner Brothers in 1997. And it has the end label. This tape was printed on May 15, 1998. At the time, we were getting out of my grandmother's house back in Richmond Hill, Queens. Here's a musical extravaganza which I already have on VHS. Lucille Ball in Maine in 1974. And you know, the musical Maine is not that great compared to as the original Auntie Maine when it had Rosalind Russell was made in 1958. This is the 1984 release of the musical Maine from Warner Home Video in the clamshell with the 3 dots. This got to be a 1986 reprint. I checked the tape out, and it has no deftone at the end of this copy. The next cassette I have here is Mothman Pictures, based on the true events, that stars with Richard Gere. Yep, and this is from Columbia TriStar Home Entertainment. It's gotta be from 2002 release, but was made in 2001. Yep. This tape was printed on 35th week of 2002. At the time, I turned 18 years old. The next cassette I have, I'll be keeping, that is The Fall of the House of Usher. That has Vincent Price in there. It was made in 1960. Made by the American Independent Films Company. And this is the 1984 release from Warner Home Video in the clamshell. And this tape itself is the 1987 reprint. And this copy of this movie, it has a deftone at the end. And it's a library tape too. Now we got here a drama movie that stars with Wharton Bailey and Natalie Wood in Splendor in the Grass in 1961. 1984 reissue. Originally it came out in 1981. I think it was in 82 from Warner Home Video in one of those big box series. Before they made them into clamshells. Yep. This is a good movie that you don't want to miss the whole entire family. However, this copy of Splendor in the Grass is a 1987 reprint. Tape master was from 1982 with the white FBI warning screen. And then at the end of this tape, it has the deftone at the end. Splendor in the Grass is a great movie that you don't want to miss a whole entire film buff on VHS. We got some more tapes left. Now we got here a Spike Jones story. Spike Jones and his City Slackers has with Milton Berle, Danny Thomas, Dr. Del Milto, something like that. 1988 release from White and Star Home Video. Once I had like one of the Spike Jones and his City Slackers on VHS. That's when I was in New York. That was released from Paramount during the mid '80s on VHS. No print date on there. I'll be keeping that for myself. Now the next tape I have here, that is Nicolay the Wild Dog of North. That's got to be from Disney, and this is on VHS in 2000 release. From 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 Anchor Bay Video. Show you what the print tape looks like. No print date. I'll be selling this. Another tape I have. The Babysitters Club, the movie. This is made in 1995, and this is the 1996 release from Columbia TriStar Home Video's The Family Collection in those gold boxes. Just like that home video release of Indian in the Cupboard. I think it was a 95 release from Columbia TriStar. This tape was printed on the 4th week of 1996, around late January, early February. I was 11 years old at the time. Now the next tape I have here, that is another Mary Kate and Ashley tape. That is The Case of the Hotel Whodunit. This is on VHS from the Alot Video and in Kid Vision. 1996 release. Printed it on I don't know what the print date is, but it's not that important. Just say it was like a little reprint. Here's one of the best known holiday movies of all time. Stars with Natalie Wood at 9. Has with Monty Wool, has Edmund Gwyneth Santa Claus, Gene Lockwood, Maureen O'Hara, and John Payne in the original Miracle 34th Street. I rented out the 1979 original 2 months ago at the Pottsville Library. Probably around like Christmas time. And this is the 1985 reissue of it from Playhouse Video. There was a first reissued in 1984 from CBS Fox Video. Yeah. This seems like a great copy. This is in great condition of the original Miracle 34th Street. Now the next tape I have here, a family movie called The Amazing Panda Adventure, made in 1995 from Warner Brothers, and this is on VHS, 1996 from Warner Home Video. Yep. I saw this. I used to borrow that on VHS when I was in school, back when I was a teenager, or like 14. It was the good old days. Now the next tape I have here, that is a romantic movie called The Love Letter, that stars with Campbell Scott and Jennifer Jason Leigh. And this is from Hallmark Entertainment, under a license of Family Home Entertainment. This is released in 1998 on VHS. Show you what the tape looks like. This tape was printed on the 10th week of 1999. I got here a Harrison Ford movie called Air Force One. That was May 1997. This was released on VHS 1998 from Columbia TriStar Home Video. Harrison Ford's the man. Now he's got to be about 79, probably retired from show business. And he was too old to do Indiana Jones anyway. This is printed on the 6th week of 1998 of Air Force One. Now the next one we got here, a Western movie that has with Hugh Brenner, Eli Wallach, Steve McQueen, and Charles Bronson in The Magnificent Sevens. And this is the 1984 release from CBS Fox Video. Originally came out on VHS 1981 from Magnetic Video Corporation. I prefer my favorite Western movies: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.